Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 80. I'm, of course, your VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos this lovely Saturday afternoon as we are jumping into our first series. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, the bracket is raring and good to go, and we are jumping into the round 16. Round of 16, here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Zurich player, the red Zurich himself, representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the pink Protoss player. With the pink Protoss, we have the South Green Protoss. It is Prone. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our initial best of 3. Whew, let's go. Let us go, as we are going to be settling in. And again, we do have initial Zurich versus Protoss matchup. Prome, of course, he is renowned in StarCraft Evolution, in SC Evo. Prome, he's a little bit more active in that kind of scene. He still does play in weeklies like the KSL, or every now and then in a Tuna Cup, every now and then in a War DCV Monday. For the most part, though, his main interest, in my opinion, is, of course, StarCraft Evolution. We'll see how he fares against Rex. Rex, of course, he is, I would say, an ex-pro gamer. Nowadays, he's mainly a content creator and caster. He has made that full switch in a caster and streamer. He has been competing, or I should say practicing and looking to improve a little bit less, and as a result, it's a little bit harder to kind of place Rex. Like, he still does play, he's still an active player in his own way, but again, he's less so focused on like tournament results and less so focused on improving and more so on casting, which he typically does do in this tournament, where he plays until he gets knocked out, then he does step in and does cast. Has been casting quite a lot here, and of course he's still got it. Of course, he's arguably the best caster. Sorry, the best highest rated caster out there. I think I would probably say that. Like, I'll say better than like Rotterdam, better than like Pig. I think those would be the other, I guess. How good is Koka? I know that Koka's quite good as well. True. I would probably place Rex above Koka. Yeah, but he still got it, man. He still got it. Show us what you got. Let's go. So players are going to be opening up. It is going to be a Stargate opener out of Prome, so standard opener out of our pink Protoss player. Meanwhile, Rex just going hatch gas pool. Going to be joining, going to be saturating. We do have link speed on the way. Does work towards link speed. And pulls out, so everything's looking normal so far. Everything's looking normal. See someone asking in the chat, PTR, if we ever host a tournament on the PTR, it will say so in the title. If it doesn't say so in the title, then assume it is not on the PTR. So no. But that's just like for future reference. So if we're ever going to be, like previously, if we ever do host something on the PTR, anything like that, it will be in the title. For now, this week's KSL is going to be just vanilla on the base game. Base game, of course. Is going to be zoned away. herO Classic tourney. You haven't watched KSL before. It's just herO win tourney. What do you mean? I think herO, he's won like 90% of the KSLs that he's signed up for, like in this year. And we do have some heavy hitters to try to face off against him. herO, he's the highest rated player of this tournament, of course. But you have players like Classic, you have players like Trigger, you have players like ByuN. Oh, and Prome pulling a Rebellion, rushing to a second Stargate, to a Fleet Beacon. He gets scattered. Yeah, the Overlord goes in. Rex, you will see everything. You see the first, the second Stargate. He does confirm the Fleet Beacon as well. Is where what's going on, and as a result, he should be getting ready back at home as we are rushing into Tempest. Oh my god. So Tempest rush out of Prome. Meanwhile, Rex back at home, at least he's aware of the Fleet Beacon, he's aware of the Stargate, so he can prepare with his own Spire. What I will say though is, yes, wait for the lair, right? The lair is still on the way, so we are waiting for the lair to wrap up. Then we can settle into our proper anti-air. Behind this, getting into Queens, we should be getting some safety Spore Crawlers up and running as well. Again, Prome being very spicy with his build, but thankfully Rex is aware, so he has that information. That's the first step. So Rex, he knows, he's getting ready. What do you think about the new patch notes? We're probably going to go more in depth during the podcast. Every single week we do have a SC2 talk show. We have the podcasts, so we're probably going to go more in depth there. I guess touching on it, I don't expect most of the changes. There are some, I'll say, more drastic changes that probably won't survive the PTR. Just like last time, they initially announced a bunch of changes, and most likely a lot of that will be changed, will be adapted, and will most likely be different when it goes live eventually. That's the purpose of the PTR, of course. This is also where tournaments, I do think that there's a lot of value in running and hosting as many tournaments as possible on the PTR, or for an add-on, for a mod to be pushed through that actually has the PTR changes into the base game, so we can run tournaments in the base game there instead, using that mod, using the balance mod. And that is going to happen in the coming weeks. As we do have like 2 months. We have around 2 months before it goes live, something like that. My assumption is that it would go live alongside the new map pool, and we all know that the new map pool is coming in November. So I would assume they would come hand in hand. Behind this, Spire's been thrown. I mean, Spire's almost done. Queens, they're holding their own. Remember, the Queens are here just to survive. They're not here to kill. They're here to buy time for the Corruptors. Ooh, but already one Queen does go down. I say one was a two. Yeah, 2 Queens do fall. Where are the Spores? Where the Spores in a bit of an awkward position, trying to intercept. We have more Spores rotating. Queens are going down. The Spores, they're not here in time. And without Spores, the Queens, they go down one after the other. Corruptor production has begun. But this has been a messy defense here from Rex, as every Spore does fall. And Queens are getting picked off. Spore gets picked off. The base will go down. Thankfully, Corruptors will spawn in and will shut this down. But behind this, Prime should be expanding. Ooh. He should be expanding. He's going for a 2-base Stalker all-in. Now, the goal here is that he forces Rex to overinvest, is what I meant to say, into Corruptors, right? Corruptors are on the way, and if we make too many Corruptors, then bam, Mass Wing Stalker ends the game. Now, thankfully, Rexy is not neglecting his ground army. Rexy's scouting, he sees no base. Seeing no expansion is a massive tell that this is going to be an all-in. He hasn't seen the Mass Gateway yet. He's not fully aware of what Prom is up to. But thankfully, he is investing into Ling at Roach Ravager. He's played against this before. So Rex, he lost the base, but his economy is not looking too bad in comparison, just because there's no expansion. There's no third. Yep, he confirms. So he sees all the Stalkers, big scout with the Ling, and now he knows not to invest any further into the Corruptors. Just invest purely into Ling Roach Ravager, bearing in mind that Ravagers can also shell away at the Tempest. They can also get piled down. He'll be forcing Micro out of Prome. Gets it away, files out. Oh my god, they do graze the army. No major connections. But nice files out of Rex. Filing behind the Tempest, forcing them forward. And again, Rex just has to buy some time. Files, they do graze the Tempest, and then we go 1, 2 Tempests going down, 3 Tempests left. And there should be enough Corruptors. Yeah, there are enough Corruptors. Files, they force out a blink. Ravagers are going down, and there's too many Stalkers. Yeah, the ground army. The ground army is just far too much here. The Tempest were for the most part dealt with, but the Mass Stalkers too much. And Prime, he breaks through. He breaks through, dives on the army. Boys are being pulled, but it's too late. It's too late. The Roach count has already been whittled away at. Just not enough on the ground. Not enough, Pappy. Not enough. I do think that it would have been possible to pull the boys earlier, just because the boys don't really matter as much. Like, losing drones, just because of how all-in Prime is, would have been viable earlier on. Blinks on the Roaches. And Rex, he should lose everything here. It's Stalkers, they get on top of the Roaches. It's target firing. Drones now going down. There's 3 Roaches left. 3 Roaches remaining. And it was also really cool to see that, I don't know if you noticed, but the Tempest, they were not attacking the Corruptors. The Tempest, they were target firing the Ravagers specifically as well. Again, knowing that the Tempest would eventually go down, and knowing that the Corruptors would be dead supply, didn't waste any DPS on them. Didn't waste them. Prime is breaking through. Getting to the mineral line. At the same time, Corruptors, they do take down the main base, which is nice and all, but how do we stop this, Pappy? Oh god. How many Stalkers? 26! 26 Stalkers for Prime. And from here, it's going to be the last defense here for Rex. He does pull the final setup, boys. He's on so many already. He's down to, what, down to 21 drones. And they're about to fall here. Whilst they graze the Stalkers, they graze the army somewhat. The Corruptors go for the Nexus, but GG gets called, and Prome, he does take game number 1. GG. Whew. Again, Rex, he was aware of what was going on. He was aware. Unfortunately, you could definitely argue that Rex, he did chase a little bit too much when it came to chasing down the main army. He was a little bit too cavalier. He was bleeding out a lot of Ravagers, as we were pointing out. Props to Prome for recognizing his win condition, for using those Tempests to not waste any DPS on the Corruptors, but to focus as much of their DPS as possible on the Ravagers instead. And when the Tempest eventually went down, I mean, there were no Ravagers remaining. The Stalkers could then overwhelm, and GG. GG, well played with that. Prome does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Rex can bounce back. We'll see if Prome can clean up the series and take it here and now. Up next, going to be loading into Incorporeal. Let's go. We are going to be loading in. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player representing Offside Esports. Land in Taiwan. It is Rex. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the pink Protoss. It is Prome. Here we go. As we're getting towards Zerg versus Protoss. Settling in. Again, we had Prome going for a cheeky build, rushing into Tempest, and then going for a 2-base Stalker all-in. I don't expect to see the same build here, but I expect to see something quirky nonetheless. Show us a spicy build, Pappy. Let's go. From here, we can go for a Twilight Council opener. We can go for a Robo, rush into charge, get into a higher mortal count. Where are you taking us? Again, a lot of options. A lot of options for the Protoss. And it's up to Rex to scout, to confirm, to react. And to hopefully not be overconfident with this play either. Fully. As we're waiting for the Cybercore, then we'll get into our tech of choice. Likewise, we're going to Incorporeal. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Because this map is so large, this is where if we did get into the mid-game, something like Spire tech and Spire play is going to be viable for Rex. If we can get there, of course. Like, our eyes are still going to be on Prome when it comes to his early game aggression. Twilight Council is done. Pylon is thrown down next to the Gas Geyser. We'll see if it's going to be a Stargate or a Twilight Council. It's going to be the Robo. Okay. This was one of the many options that Prome did have available. So going for a Robo opener leads towards early mortar production, leads into sentries, leads into potentially a Soul Train. Just mass sentry, mass immortal, 2-base all in is something we're going to be keeping our eye on. Oh boy. And it's on Rex here to confirm what's happening. Does move out with another Overlord. Skirting around the left hand side. Likewise, getting Ling speed, pulling for the most part out of gas, for the most part. As there's immortal production, there's essential production. As you mentioned, like, this should be a soul train. This should be just a 2-base all-in with mass immortal, mass sentry. The reason why this can work wonders is that this early on, if the Ravager count is low, then force fields can completely slice up an army, and this all-in can hit very, very hard. Now, thankfully, we do have a Roach Warren on the way, so it's safety Roach Warren timing here at Rex. Rexy recognizes something is wrong. We can see that the Stalker does zone away the Overlord, and the other Overlord does not quite get all the way in either, so limited vision, limited scouting out of Rex. Thankfully, though, he should be starting a Roach production soon. Is he cutting workers too early, though? He's making 14 Lings. Ooh, on the one hand, yes, you do need an army, that is true, but on the other hand, when you're up against an all-in, you have to drone up as much as possible early on to get up to, what, 40, 45 drones. I would be more comfortable with around, yeah, 40 to 45. Then you can afford the army. If you cut workers too soon, then you won't actually be able to build up a large enough force to defend. So there's, again, a thin kind of line you have to walk here when it comes to when to cut workers, when not to, when to produce an army, when not to either. So we'll see if Rex can keep up supply-wise with his opponent as Chrome is about to move out. Yeah, for example, you can see now Rex is droning. You can see here 3 drones on the way. Those 3 drones should have been thrown down earlier. Right, it's like we should have started those earlier, and then we could have delayed the Lings and Roaches. Then those workers would already be mining at the moment. They'd be mining right now, and you'd be gaining more benefits from those workers if they were made early on. Rex does move out, and we'll see who strikes who first. Like Rex, he has been amassing a massive army. Essentially, Rex is going for an all-in himself. You know, he doesn't saturate the third at all. So 0 saturation at the third base. Rex going for his own Ling Roach all-in. Up against the Soul Train here of Chrome, going for the chargeless move outs, going for the slow lot all in. Ling is going to force a defensive warp in. There it is. That episode warped in back at home. Nice cancellation. Very, very nice. Very smooth. It's cancelled as move outs. Army's moving in. Rex, he has been amassing purely army this entire time. The Queens are already on the high ground. And here comes the surround. We have force fields. Very nice. Adepts are going to get surrounded. Never mind, they do hold their own. Link's having a hard time engaging. And Immortals, they're getting on top of the Roaches. Files do not connect. Lings are coming from behind. They're getting on top of the Immortals. Yeah, nice around, and Rex, he holds. He does completely shut down this all-in. The Lynx round was crucial. And with this all-in crumbling, there's nothing left. There's nothing here. Again, so important that the Lings, they got on top of the Immortals. It meant the Immortals, they could not actually DPS down the Roaches. Chrome, he's running out of steam. Steam, running out of army. The longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Rex. As Rex, he's just pushing. Yeah, he's just going for the kill. He's going for the kill. He's not droning. Not saturating. Just massing up his army and sending it across the map. As Rex, he has built up. He's checking for a third. Wise move. I mean, basically, there's nothing pressuring Rex to actually push in. Unless Prem expands. If Prem starts to expand, then Rex can punish. But for now, Rex, now he's starting to drone up. Once again, it's one of those things where the drones could have been done a little bit earlier here. Because here comes Prome's army, and right now is when we need Rex to just double down on purely Ling Roach Ravager. Need to build up. From here, we're building up the Ling Bane. Prome is going for his second wave, his second all-in. But again, this time it's much weaker. It's just a weaker all-in this time. Enough time has passed that Rex, he's got so many Banelings. How many sentries? 0. No. I was going to say that with good enough force fields, then Prome can maybe take a fight, but the reality is that there are no sentries, no force fields. Bounce to zone away. Bane crashing into the slow lots, and without the slow lots, there's nothing to protect that. The Immortals! The Immortals are exposed! Banelings are rolling in. Biles on the Prism. Prism does not go down, not quite. But again, there's plenty of just army on the ground. Plenty here for Rex. Rex, he will overwhelm, he will swarm. And GG gets called. Rex ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 3. Again, we saw a cheeky build here by Prome going for the Robo opener, but Rex was playing safe. He didn't scout the Robo. He didn't know exactly what Prome was up to, but he was getting ready to defend against an all-in nonetheless. I do still feel like Rex could have drawn up a little bit harder earlier to have a cleaner defense, but regardless, he did hold on, didn't lose any bases, didn't lose any workers, and Rex snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into the ace match, and we'll see how the story ends, as game 3 is going to be on Tokamak. Let's go. And we'll see what Prome goes for this time. So in game 1, we saw 2 gates at Tempest Rush. We saw into a 2-base all-in. Game 2, we saw a Robo opener into a quote-unquote Soul Train-esque kind of all-in on 2 bases with Immortal, Sentry, Slow Lot. Game 3, what haven't we seen yet? We haven't seen Glaive Adepts. Blink-based all-ins are quite rare. So we could see Glaives. Could see Robo opener into a Bay. It's something crazy like that. So this morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Pink Protoss player. The Green Protoss, it is Prome. Go. Players are building up. From here, once again, we're going to be keeping an eye on our Protoss player to see what tech he goes into. We've seen nothing but all-ins out of Prome, and we're expecting, again, another all-in here. Despite the fact that we are loading into a larger map, right? Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is known for defensive play. Tokamak is known for being able to more easily set up on 4 and 5 bases. It can be very difficult to break a defending player, but yeah, as a result, an all-in here from Prome is going to be a little bit weaker. But I still feel like he's going to go for it. Let's go. So far we're getting into our cyber core, getting into our tech of choice. And it is going to be a Stargate opener. Okay. Everything is looking normal so far. Joe, do we play standard? Again, this would be the map to play standard on. Just play standard, get your Stargate opener, Oracle into a third base, and just defend on 3 bases, get a 4th base, and then max out. Would be the go-to. Yes, from here, we're going back to what we went for last time. Potentially. So this time, Stargate opener into a Fleet Beacon into a early Void Ray this time. Now, obviously, the goal of the Void Ray is to do what? Is to hunt down the Overlords. To hunt down the Overlords to deny the Scouts, and to delay Rex from really figuring out what is going on. We could go into a Tempest Rush again, or we could go for a Carrier Rush. True, that's also an option. Oh, okay, Fleet Beacon into a Forge. That is interesting. Earlier Forge, earlier +1. Once again, are we going singular Stargate into singular Tempest into BAM into a switch into Masswing Stalker? That should be the go-to here. This is a build that Classic did popularize, what, 2 years ago at this point? Oh, never mind. Rushing to the mothership. Okay. Now, what Classic does with this is you make a Tempest, you reveal the Tempest, you force a reaction into a Spire, into a Lair, and then because it's only one Stargate, you switch into Masswing Stalker, and it's very similar to Game 1, but it hits faster, right? It hits faster, it hits earlier, as you're investing less into the Tempest because it's only one Stargate. Here, instead, we have a mothership rush into a mass ground army into what should be a recall across the map. Now, this is a build that we saw rise in popularity, Jesus, like 3-4 years ago. If you remember, there used to be a build where you would go for this. I think it'd be on 3 bases, not 2. But you'd build up on 3 bases, rush into a mothership, then you'd recall into the main base of your opponent, and then force field the ramp. And you'd force field, then you'd end the game. I remember visually what the map looked like, but I can't remember what it was called. But it was in the Cosmic Sapphire map pool, I believe. So I'm pretty sure I remember seeing this on Cosmic Sapphire. Yeah, we saw this on Cosmic, 100%. And there were other maps kind of in that era where you could do this on. As the Tempest does hug the edge. Rex, he's got his lair, building up his roaches. No Spire yet. Which means he's fixated on his ground army, which is a good thing. Now, without any Ravagers here, that force field is going to be brutal. We can always morph in Ravagers, but I believe the main base should die. The Void Ray does make sure there's no scouting Overlord. It's going to be a lot of sentries, a lot of force fields. And we're going for it. We send it into the main. Here comes a mothership. Here comes a recall. Huh. Mass recall. Dies into the main base. The army's in position. Rex is here. Yeah, Rex is in position. He will completely shut this down. He's got his spores. Biles, they will connect. And with all the spores, there is detection. The mothership cloak does nothing. The cloak does nothing. GG gets called. Rex, he was waiting in the main base. He was not in the natural. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations with that. Oh, with that, Rex will claim it. Sorry, I switched to the wrong scene. But GG, well played. Congratulations, Rex. He will claim the series. He will advance on to the next round. And where is he leading us? Shout out to Prone, by the way. Really fun matches, really fun series, going for some quirky builds and different all-ins every single game. Going for 2-base Tempest into a Mass Blink Stalker 2-base all-in in game 1, seeing the Soul Train Slow Lot all-in in game number 2, and here seeing the Mothership Rush in game number 3. So 3 different all-ins. Congratulations. In the end does fall, but shout out to Rex. And we do have some more updates here. herO does take down Rebellion. Hero's waiting in the semifinals, waiting for the winner of Trigger and Percival. Meanwhile, we have a Classic versus Rex. That's going to be our next series, and we have ByuN versus Greenert. We're going to be going on a very short break, and when we come back, we will have the next series. We will have a Classic versus Rex right around the corner for our next best of 3. Let's go. Let's go. We'll see you soon after the break. And also shout out to Prome. He's in the chat. Este Prome. GG, man. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second series of the broadcast. Welcome back to another ZVP. Is spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our PVZ. Here we go. Here we go. Here we are back. We have returned. We saw some crazy and quirky and very aggressive builds out of Prome in the last series, but coming into this fresh best of 3, we do expect a Classic to be aggressive, yes, in the face, but not going for all-ins. So we expect to see a standard opener, Stargate into Oracle into a 3rd base, triple Oracle into a 3rd base setup in towards a 3-base move out is what we're expecting out of Classic. Aggression, yes, but later aggression in the mid game. Really, our eyes are going to be on Rex instead to see how Rex can deal with Classic. Will Rex be going for his own all-ins, his own aggression, German taxis, Ling Hydra all-ins on 3 bases? What's the plan for Rex? Here we go. So we are going to be settling in. Now, we have seen Rex take it to these top players in the past, especially with some cheeky builds and some cheeky all-ins. I'll always remember when Rex took down Raynor, when he took down Cure in WTL. Some crazy plays out of Rex. I'm ready, man. I am ready. So now we have the Cyber Core, we have the Stargate. Link speed is being researched. Rexy pulls out of gas. He pulls out. Stargate's on the way. Everything so far looking normal, as Rex should be expanding. Let's go. Sprays for the probe. Este probe. This probe is going to be shoot away. Classic just trying to buy as much time as possible. Here comes the third. And we'll see if Classic hits if Rex can keep up with the Adepts. Good. So just a little bit distracted, but it should be okay. As from here, Adepts do get into the natural waste mineral line. No major damage yet. Likewise, Oracle slipping into the main. Oh, we had a GG spray as well. Oh, the spray is back. So we have our Twilight Council follow-up at a Classic. Again, everything's looking normal so far. Twilight Council's a little bit early. We'll see if we get the Forge. Oracles get across. 3, 4, 5 drone kills so far. Nicely done. Gets 5 workers pull away. Still no Forge. There we go. Forge now being turned down. With the earlier Twilight Council, this might be a setup into charge. So Classic may go for an earlier charge timing. Otherwise, you may just go for an earlier blink timing, just because of how early the Twilight Council is. What's it going to be? Blink. So earlier blink. Now this, I believe, should be lined up with the 4th base, so the goal will be to deny the 4th base with Blink Stalkers. We'll see if Classic can actually make use of that. When I say deny, I mean kill, by the way. To kill the 4th. Links back in. They do not deny the warp in. Classic, he defends. Adepts make it across the map. No links to defend. Not like this. Adepts shade in. Thankfully, Rex does pull away in time. He pulls back. He pulls away. As Classic does shade back in. Still no major economic damage. But let's get 1, 2, 3 drone kills so far. 3 drones do fall. Does target fire, getting it to 5, getting it to 6. Getting it to 7. 7 drones. You get 7 workers, nice damage dealt by a Classic. And he's doubling down. We have 4 more gates on the way. It's going to be a 7-gate setup. He's taking his gases, so no 3-base all in. He's going to be applying pressure. He's going to be pushing. But is expanding behind it. And so far, Classic has had a really strong start. It doesn't sound like a lot, but again, 12 drone kills in total. 12 drones. That does slow Rex down quite a bit. Rex trying to go into his own Link main Hydra setup. Getting there. So I'm like, no, shall we kill the base? If you remember, we spoke about the early blink timing and how this is lined up to kill the 4th, and that's what's happening here. The Stalkers, they move out, they get spotted by Rex. Rex, he should be responding. He's racing over, and can he save the expansion? Oh, classy, he's gonna get it. Yeah, he's gonna get it. 2 more volleys, 1 more volley even, takes down the base, and now he can just recall. He can just wedge himself behind the mineral line. Trades against the army. There's the recall. Will bleed out to what? 4 stalkers? 5? Yeah, 5. 5 stalkers do go down. But it kills the expansion. That slows down Rex so heavily here. Again, that's why +1 was delayed. That's why the Forge was delayed. That's why we got earlier Blink, was to kill the 4th base. And it worked out well. Worked out well for Classic. Rex, to make up for it, is double expanding. Getting his 4th and 5th base. And Rex is taking up. He's taking up towards Hive Tech, what should be towards Lurkers as well. The problem here is that Classic should hit first. What's Classic waiting for? He's waiting for charge. Waiting for charge, waiting for storm. Ah, never mind. God damn it, Classic. Classic, he's the kind of player in both PvC and PvT to slow the game down if he sees an opportunity to just slow the game down and max out. There is a window in time where Classic could just push. Like, honestly, instead of all this tech, instead of all these cannons and shield batteries, if he just got a War Prism and just pushed, he could just end the game. Pre-Lurker. But we can see that Classic, he's walling up. He's walling up, he's walling off, he's turtling up and looking to max out with Sky Toss. I mean, that's just another way to maintain your lead, for sure. But strap yourselves in, because we're going to be here for a little bit longer. Tempest production has begun. Tempests are on the way. We're getting to tectonic destabilizers, turtling up on 5 bases. A really easy 5A setup here for a Classic. And I was going to say he doesn't have to push out before he maxes, but thankfully he is posturing. He's moving out with his first 2 Tempests. He's got plenty of Storm. And how many Lurkers? 12. Okay, high Lurker count. So Rex, he's ready to... Oh, to punish! Yeah, it does punish, catching out some of the Stalkers. And with all these Lurkers, Classic can no longer move in. Now he has to wait for more Sky Toss. We spoke earlier, there was a window in time where Classic could have hit before there were any Lurkers, but that time has come and gone. Which means the game will slow down. So down Lurkers, they do go for a big counterattack. There's the recall back home. Lings, they maybe catch a couple of Zealots. A couple of Stalkers. Not bad. As Lurkers move away. Move away. A couple of Storms do graze the army. Classic has to rotate over, out of position. Rex moving in. I think it's going to get punished for it. Yeah, the Lurkers are going to be shut down. Thankfully, there is detection. Go a handful of lurkers. Rex moving on the left hand side. Running into a wall of cannons. Oh. This time there's no recall. Yeah, no recall. Lurkers are getting around. They take down all the cannons, going for the expansion. Doesn't quite go for it. Oh, there's the recall. True. The mothership. Mothership has the recall. We gotta get out of here. Classic keeps up. Again, the cannons, they didn't kill the army. The cannons are just there to buy time. They're just there to buy time to allow for the Protoss army to react. Classic's moving in. Unfortunately, Rex is still stuck on lurkers. He's trying to build up his corruptor counts. He's getting there. As that's a kill, not a cancel. Classic moving in. Rexy's getting there. We spoke earlier how he was just stuck on too many lurkers, but now the corruptor count is quite substantial. He's on 23 corruptors. Working on +1. Moving in. Pushing on to creep. The corruptor's out of position though. Yeah, completely out of position. This space is going to go down. The lurkers as well. There's a recall and... Ooh, mothership gets saved. Does recall the mothership to safety. And these corruptors cannot engage, not on their own. There are too many Archons. Too many Archons. Archons are hit a punish. One base goes down. Classic can rotate to take down another expansion. Oh, and this should not be happening. Classic trying to take some of Rex's bases. This should not happen. This is very greedy, very bold move by Classic. Very cheeky. Just get zoned. So recall into the main. Mothership has arrived. Goes for all the tech. The Spire, the Hive, the Hydrogen, the Evo Chambers, the Infestation, but literally everything is here, and it's all going to go down. What will survive with the Bailey Nest? True. We can still morph in Bailings. So I believe Classic can still recall back home. I believe it's still available. Nice feedbacks. Feedbacks from the Vipers. No power bomb. Yeah, the storms have been brutal. Another storm of the Corruptors. Corruptors are good for that. No Archons, true. Yeah, there's no Archons. No Archons, no Storm. And with that, Rexy will reset the Skytoss army. Again, you can see the importance of Archons. And without Archons, every carrier is going to go down. Rexy cleans up. Now, a couple of things here. One, cool, he cleaned up the army. Let's go. He is down to 47 drones. He's down to 47 drones. He lost the majority of his tech. He saved the Hive and he saved the Hydrogen. But you can see he has to rebuild his Spire. He has to rebuild his Greater Spire, rebuild the Infestation bits. So what you see is what you get. A Classic has a massive bank to work with because Classic has been more efficient. He's just straight up been more efficient than Rex. Rex is burning through his bank. Rex is almost out of gas. And Classic, he can just rebuild. The problem here, the only thing holding Classic back is it takes a long time to rebuild. As you can see here, the Carriers, the Skytoss, the Tempest, it takes a long time to actually morph back in. to warp back in. So that will slow him down, but Classic is still ahead. Still just maintain that lead. Storms a 10-meter zone away. Does attempt to zone. Greater Spires, hey, it just started. We have not rebuilt the infestation bit, by the way, so Rex, he still has very limited tech options, very limited production buildings, or tech buildings. Oh god, the micro... The power of the storm shuts down the Hydra. The Hydra's microbo shot does nothing. It does nothing. Not like this. Scrubs reduce time to base. And we spoke about this. Classic, he's maxed. Like, this is where the soup does not lie. And we spoke about how Classic, his remax was going to be slower, but it was going to be there. Rex was not, because Rex had no bank. He had no bank. He had to rebuild all of his tech. So after losing everything in the main base, Rex, he was still behind. Things they attempt to run by. Bold recall there at a Classic, or I should say late recall. So late recall does not get into the main, not this time. Classic is rebuilding the mothership. Main army's pushing forward. Classic trying to create an opening. Distract slings, distract lurkers. These bases, they are still not quite up and running. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Jeez. When it comes to Rex recovering in this game, if Rex can redrone, and if he can take the gold, then sure. Then he can try to build back up. But this has been an uphill battle for the past, like, 15 minutes. Has been very uphill. Ever since the 12 drones went down at the start of the game. Because if you recall, that led into the 4th base being sniped, the 4th base falling. And we spoke about Rex getting the gold. He does not. Classic is going for the gold base. Recalls into the main once again. Rex out of position. He's out of position. The hive this time will go down. Survived last time, not this time. Nice neural. Goes for the feedbacks. Gets 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. Very, very slick moves there by Rex. Very clutchy. Feedback's the final High Templar. Let's go. Really sick moves. He needs more of that. Like 3 more times. Neurals once again going for the Archons. Takes down the mothership. The power of the Archons. No, he will lose every Infestor. Every Infestor goes down. Again, that was a sick move out of Rex, and he made the most out of it, but GG gets called. That's all he had left, and Classic takes the lead. GG. GG, well played. Classic will take a lead in the series, but a shout out to Rex because he did have some nice moments in that game. Again, Rex was playing from behind from, what, 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. Like, it was a really, really rough start for Rex, and he had a really hard time kind of gaining his footing once again. But regardless, make a game out of it. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2. Rex with some flair towards the end. With all those neurals. Here we go. As we're now getting into game 2. Game 2 here, and we'll see if this series ends here and now, if we can force the ace match. Let's go. As morning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Virtus Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is a classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Taiwanese Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Offside Esports. It is Rex. So getting into game 2, again, we saw Classic able to do what he does best. He was able to get a lead, extend his lead, and instead, as I mentioned before, there was an opportunity, there was a moment where he could have decided to throw down extra gateways to commit and to push and to try to kill, but Classic did Classic things, and that is to slow the game down instead. To take his lead, to extend his lead, to slow the game down, and to get into the late game. He does this against Terran, he does this against Zerg as well. But I would imagine that on Pylon, he would be more willing to be more aggressive. I would imagine. Also, I saw someone in the YouTube chat bring it up as well. I like how this happened. This happens almost every single podcast, where we have our podcast, we go over all the news of the week, we wrap up with everything, and then as soon as we end, bam, they go live with something. Like bam, there's a big announcement. And without fail, every single time there's like roster changes, tournament announcements. This week it was the PTR patch notes announced right after we finished our show. Shaking my head, man. Shaking my head. They know, papi, they know. Always. For now, Stargate. Stargate open out of Classic. Opening up Standard. Again, we expect Standard openers out of Classic. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. And we expect it to lead into something greater here in the mid-game. Meanwhile, we're looking at Pylon. Pylon is known for aggression and for all-ins, so if Rex. If Rex wanted to be more in the face of Classic, this would be the map to do it on. To go for faster tech structures, to cut workers, and to commit. This is his time. from here, we are heading out, getting our third base. Twilight Council has been thrown down for Classic. That is a very early Twilight Council. Okay, so earlier Twilight Council into the main base, into a delayed third expansion. This leads us to believe, as we get a couple of drone kills across the map, this leads us to believe Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts comes to mind first. Technically, this could still be Blink, just like last game, and go for a timing to hit the fourth base, but this is just so much more early here. And Rex should recognize. He should be feeling like, hold up, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Why is the third base so late? I know that I applied some pressure, but that should not be delaying it for this long. And thankfully, Rex does get a safety Roach Warren behind the main. Safety Roach Warren, meanwhile, Glaive Adepts are on the way, as we did mention. Again, early Twilight Council, early Glaives. This is a very aggressive build here from Classic. Rex does piece it together. Rex is somewhat aware. Rex is cutting workers early, massing up Blink Roach, cutting workers at 38. Classic does have the better economy, but Classic may have the worse army as he's building up more depths. He's building them up. Again, should be fine against the Lings, but it's not about the Lings. It should be about the Roaches, the Ravagers, and the Queens. So we are sending everything across the map. Here comes the all-in out of Rex. Again, Rexy cut workers at 2 base or under 2 base saturation. That's at 37 drones. And it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Takes down the first Adept. Whilst they force a bit of friendly fire. Nice, very nice stasis. Kites back, catches out some of the Roaches, catching out Lings. Ooh, Oracle's does full. Let's take down one of the Oracles. Nice stasis once again. Second Oracle goes down. Rex is running at Lings, just down to Roach Ravager. Roach Ravager is going down. Lings is not available. Immortal comes in to reinforce. And Classic's holding. And Classic is holding on. Cleans up all the Queens. Chases down Rex, the Wilds. Oh, don't quite connect. And there's almost nothing left. Almost nothing left here. Rex is down to 2 Ravagers, no Roaches. 9 more Roaches in production. Make what he can. He's doing what he can. Classic, he throws down 2 more gateways. I'm hoping that we start a War Prism. Oh, no more Immortals. There's a chance that Classic just defends back at home. Plus that is that Rex, he's not droning. He's still not making workers. Like, he's just getting ready for a second all-in, a second wave. A lot of creep going down. Gets one. Gets both Ravagers. Oh yeah, but and I was waiting to see if he was going to throw down extra tech, throw down extra gases. The answer is no. The answer is War Prism. Thank God. Going for the War Prism, which means Classic is pushing. Classic is moving out. He's built up a death ball of an army. Rex, he's now trying to re-drone, now trying to resaturate, but this is late. It's very, very late here for Rex. So late drones, late saturation. Late economy means smaller army. As forceful as they look down almost all the lings, almost every single ling goes, and every ling does fall. Show us the update. How many was that? 44. 44 Zerlings for one Stalker. The efficiency, fam. Yay. Insane catch out of Classic. Yeah, no. Classic rotates. Let's pull away. 24 more links in production. Speaking of links, they do get across the map. Classic defends. Ooh, Spiles do connect. Little Miles. Once again, the Miles have been decent. They've been chipping away at the main army. Now we split. Miles are still popping up, but GG gets called as there's almost nothing left here for Rex. He lost all the links earlier, and Classic will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Shout out to Rex. Again, Rex is mainly a caster nowadays, but he had some really nice moves, especially in game one, right? Game one at the very end, to see him go for the Neural, to see him feedback and snipe every single High Templar, and of course Neural the Archons to take a better fight as well. Like, there were some really nice moves there by Rex, but he just fell behind early on in that first game, and he just wasn't able to keep up with Classic. GG, well played. With that, we're getting ready for the semi-finals. Oh boy. We have 2 series remaining here in the broadcast. As you can see here, herO is already in the finals. herO takes down Trigger 2-0, takes down Rebellion 2-0. herO, he's waiting for the winner of Classic, and ByuN in the lower semis. So 2 series left. Semis, Classic versus ByuN into herO. We're going to be going on a short break, and we'll see you soon with that next series. See you soon, Bappy. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals, or semifinals here of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 80. It's been a relatively fast broadcast, as there are two series remaining here. herO, he is already waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this series. Who is it going to be? As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the orange Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss himself, also from South Korea. For Virtus Pro, it is a classic. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As we're opening up with the proxy, let's go. As we open up with a 2x Reaper. The proxies are being thrown now. The gases are being taken, and ByuN, he will commit quite hard into this. And we'll see if Classic can get a read on what's going on. Will he be able to scout? Will he be able to recognize? Does he play safe? Does he check the proxy locations? Does he figure out what is coming his way? If he were to, then he could start early shield batteries. Early shield battery in the mineral line. Likewise, chrono out the first Zealot as well. And get ready with the early game defense. But again, that's only with a forewarning. As your axes are almost done. Reapers are on the way. Reapers are on the way. They're amassing. So far, Classic does not scan across the map. He's checking behind the gases, but doesn't go further. Yeah, he does not check further. With this, he should be getting into the first Stalker, the first Adept. But again, no early shield battery. And based on Classic's control, he can still preserve his units. Just has to pull away. So far, so good. Pulls away the weakened probes. Doesn't lose anything yet. Adept is being chronoed. Second Reaper is coming in. It's got another set behind this. And again, we'll see if ByuN can get into that mineral line. The goat does go for the dive. Going for the Adept. One Reaper will go down. Gets one of the Reapers. Oof. Meanwhile, the Stalker is still not yet out. Does pop. Classic is holding. Whew. Okay, yeah, Classic holds. He takes out both Reapers. Both Reapers do go down. Classic from here, he can hold on. Second Stalker's on the way. And so far, this has not been worth it. So far, for ByuN, he's one base all in, basically. He's just now expanding. Ay, ay, ay. And then the reactions were solid. Takes out another Reaper. Another Reaper goes down. And looking at the trades here, 3 Reapers for 1 Adept and 1 Stalker, 0 economic damage, 0 probe kills. You can argue did deny some mining time, at least a little bit. He gets 1 probe, he gets 1, he gets 2. Finally. 3, okay, 3 probes, but we're losing so many Reapers. It's the problem. Like, this is not quite been worth it. Nice split out of Classic. 4 Reapers going down for 3 probes. And Classic takes the lead. Classic takes the lead. He's ahead. He defends his natural. Is in a better position. And ByuN has to play from behind, as his own CC is still not yet done. Even supply blocked as well. Delays the factory. Factory was delayed. And ByuN at least is finding a little bit of extra damage here. Behind this, getting to zone 111. Sorry, 311, I meant to say. Going for early tank production. This looks like an all-in. And it would make sense. Just because the early game went so poorly for ByuN, what do we have? Really early tank production. We're going to have a fast third, and we might even just push with 4 tanks. So fast third tank into what should be a 4th. Ah, never mind. So I assumed that we were just going to send it here on 2 bases, but with these add-ons on the way, it's indicative here of further upgrades. So we're working towards stim, combat shields, eBay for +1. ByuN, he's going for a later timing. Meanwhile, with the Stalkers, they dive in. Oh, they get one of the Liberators. Liberator does full. Can he get on top of the tank? Not quite. Oh, he does go for it though. Oh, this is going to be a costly trade. Oh god, so many Stalkers go down. That was not as worth it for Classic. 7 Stalkers go down in total. ByuN does hold. Classic does expand. And from here, Classic's still maintaining the greater economy, still working on another base. ByuN starts his move out. It does seem like he's just posturing. ByuN is still getting upgrades. Oh. Even here, the tanks, they bully back the Stalkers. Let's go, making use of the healing pad. Oof. Yeah, not quite going to be good enough. Classic, he's still trying to be active, still trying to slow down the push. We know that ByuN is expanding. ByuN is not all in. He's working towards that next step. Classic can make his way. Can he get stim? No shot. Can he deny stim? He can. One more volley. Stim is denied. Massive pickup. Gets a medevac as well. Oof. And you can see here ByuN just losing so much momentum and just having a really rough mid game because of the early game. And the failed proxy here has been hurting ByuN, and he's never quite recovered. He's still stuck at home. Stuck at home. Ay, ay, ay. Poked in, got a couple of SCVs, still just keeping ByuN's economy at bay. Now, what I will say, even though the Classic has had a stronger start to this game, and Classic does have a lead when it comes to tech, when it comes to his setup, his economy is lackluster here. His 4th base is quite late. He decided to delay his 4th base in favor of what? In favor of all the production, in favor of the tech, Storm, Robo, Bay as well, getting to double forge, double upgrades. So Classic, he did decide to stay on 3 bases longer to delay his economy to tech up quite greedily here, or quite heavily, maybe a better way of putting it. So because of that, ByuN can build up a larger army, because ByuN has the better economy. Classic needs that 4th. Needs that 4th base. Oh. Classic bringing it to the main. Gets 2 Vikings. Nice pickups. 2 Vikings. Storm jump into the middle line. The ByuN does a split. Does pull back. Oh, god, god. That's going to be 11 SCVs going down. 12 SCVs. 12 SCV kills. Classic builds up, pulls back. ByuN now has an active army, and ByuN is just turtling up. Like, he's doing his best to turtle up and to build up to Ghost, build up to Vikings. He's been taking a lot of losses here and there, but he's building up to that point. Classic taking his 5th base. Getting there as well. Good, we're back. And shows those EMPs. High Templar stacking. Oof. Does land some EMPs, taking down some of the Templar, but most of them do get away. Most of the Templar do manage to get away. Classic going for the gold. And we're going to slow things down. We mentioned before that ByuN's goal was to turtle, and he is. You can see here we throw down 3 sensor towers, more CCs. ByuN did have a worse start to the game, but Classic decided to focus on building up the quality of his army, which meant that he couldn't quite go for a kill, couldn't quite go for a killing blow. So the game will extend from here. Classic maintaining map control, taking more bases, ByuN turtling up on 4 and slowly building up towards a 5th. Building up to that point. Classic is maxing out. So it's ByuN. Now, if ByuN can land those EMPs, ByuN can win this fight. The Viking count is quite low. Storm zones. Gets 1 Colossus. EMP did graze the army. More EMPs gearing up. Nice EMPs. But there's still half the Templar remaining. Nicely done, knocks down the rocks. Splits up the army. Yeah, the army gets split. There's what, 2 storms left. There's 1 High Templar full of energy left. 1 Templar remaining with the storm. The others need a little bit more time. EMP is not quite connecting, and Classic is pushing in. Is pushing in. The storm lands. So 1 more. Oh, the last, Pappy. Oh, EMP land. There we go. We do land a massive EMP. 0 storms. And ByuN, can he go for it? Does he have enough on the ground? The Gateway Army. The Gateway Army's pushing in. Prism goes down. We can land the Vikings. There are still so many Zealots. Yeah, still so many charge lots. Workers going to be falling. Now the Vikings do land. Desperately trying to EMP. But ByuN doesn't have enough. Yeah, ByuN does not have enough here. He dealt with the army, but Classic also has a better economy. He has a better economy. Zealous gets the middle line, 17 SCVs going down. ByuN's economy is crippled. It was a good effort here from ByuN, for sure. But at the end of the day, the better economy here is what's winning Classic this game. As he can remax, he can rebuild even faster. He's warping in 14 Stalkers at a time. 14 Stalkers. So Classic, he can rebuild, he can remax. Nice rally. 3 Colossus. Classic's moving in. Again, he's rebuilt. Got his Colossus, got his High Templar. Once again, how good are the EMPs going to be? This time the Viking count is barely there. Yeah, no Vikings. 0 Vikings, storms will land. Oh. And from here, the final stand for ByuN. He does get a decent concave here. He lands some EMPs. But here come the Zealots. Puppy GG gets caught, and Classic will take a lead in the series. We'll take down ByuN 1-0. GG will take a lead. Again, ByuN, he fell behind early on. From what? From the fail to Rex Reaper. After the opener, after the early game, ByuN was behind. He stayed behind. He was able to turtle and max out, but we spoke about the fact that Classic had map control. He had map control. He also had the better quality army as well, as that's what he was able to achieve with the stronger early to mid game. So again, Classic was able to just take that lead and extend it. ByuN was playing catch up, and he was able to max out, but the soup does lie, right? The soup does lie. Sure, both armies are maxed. One is not quite like the other. In the end, Classic did break through. GG, well played. And now we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Classic can close it out, if ByuN can bounce back. Un momento. Okay, we're back. We are back and spawning in top left-hand corner of Highland A. Going for the eBay block, we have our South Korean Terran, we have ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, we have the red Protoss, it is Classic. Here we go. To apologize for being absent for the first minutes of the game, but again, otherwise busy, otherwise preoccupied. We got other stuff going on. Looking after the bunnies, looking after the bunnies. They are free roaming. They're free roaming the room as we speak. So I have to make sure they're okay. And they're not up to shenanigans. So that's why I have been a little bit distracted in the cast so far. But now we can lock in. Now we can lock in. Into our game. And again, when it came to the previous game, I mean, ByuN just fell behind from the beginning. It was it was just a really rough start for ByuN. Did fall behind. and just never quite recovered from the early game. That was on ByuN. He did decide to go for 2-Rax Reaper, the proxy, I should say, going for the follow-up factory, going for a delayed setup. Meanwhile, we just see ByuN setting up, very defensively back at home, but alas, does need more time to set up. So getting the CC ready on the high ground. And he'll be able to defend, but again, he's contained on one base. Contained on one base. That's Classic is going to be going for his own Dark Shrine. Okay. So DT opener out of Classic, going for the Dark Shrine. Bold move. A cheeky start here by Classic. He already saw the CC on the high ground, and because ByuN is stuck on one base, he's going to be forced to mule, so scans are limited. DTs in this kind of game state can do a lot of damage. Can do a lot of damage here. If ByuN mules at the wrong moment, that can just be game. Behind this, going into Hyperlight Rotors, committing into Banshee. Commits into the Banshee. Rotors are on the way. DTs are warping in. Okay, we got a scan. No! Did just mule at the natural, and the main base, we're about to have a scan soon. We need a little bit more time. Thankfully, DTs should hit, and we should not burn a mule in the main. So there'll be one scan available. DTs waddling in. If ByuN does notice, does wall up. DT at the natural, and we still need... There we go, he has a scan. He has one! One scan for 2 DTs. Very nice scan here by ByuN. Shuts down both our Templar. Wouldn't mind drop across the map. ByuN is holding. ByuN is holding. Classic was otherwise distracted. Full probes. So full probes across the map. So far, Classic A is just trading well. He's just... Jesus. Unfortunately, ByuN not paying attention. We're getting a little bit chaotic here. Banshees, they're moving out across the map. They do not have Cloak, but DTs, they wreak havoc here. They killed all the Marines, and now they're pushing into the mineral line. We got a full surround with the SCVs, but DTs, they still trade well. They still trade very well, and we're both losing everything. We have workers going down on both sides. 18 and 19 SCV kills against 20 probe kills across the map. Very chaotic, very messy here from both players. But Classic takes the lead. Classic does take a lead. He blinks, he responds. and we may try to stabilize from here, but Classic is getting a third base. It still maintains the better economy. He's got Charge on the way, he's got Storm on the way as well, and this might be similar to last game, where ByuN takes a deficit early on, and then we just kind of build up in towards a later game state. Classic takes map control, and we just move on from there. We'll see if that's going to be the case. I mean, this time ByuN does have Stim early, true. Stim is done, he has a standing army. He has a standing army. Trades the Stalkers. And he's rallying. Oh, he's going for an all-in. Okay. He's going for a 2-base all-in. ByuN, he made a choice. He could have thrown down a third TC or extra Raxes. He chose extra Raxes. It's all or nothing. But Storm is going to be done in time. Storm will be ready. And here we go. The boys are being pulled. As we mentioned, the extra Raxes was indicative of an all-in. And it all comes down to the Storms. Comes down to the Storms. Ooh, oh god. Lands a very juicy Storm. Storm does connect. Most of the Marines go down. You can see one more Storm will kill everything. Oh, he runs into the Storm. Everything goes down. GG gets called, and Classic will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played, Classic. He will shut down the all-in. The Storms were insane, and Classic will advance on to the grand finals. Congratulations, my condolences to ByuN. ByuN just had a really rough start, both in Game 1 and Game 2. Game 1, we saw the failed 2x Reaper did fall on its face. Sorry, that was Game 1. Game number 2, we did see that ByuN, he lost a lot of workers to the DTs. He was able to deal damage with the Banshees, but the DTs did critical damage, and ByuN just fell behind. He had to go for the all-in. In the end, GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Classic will claim the series, and with that, we're getting into the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between Classic and herO. Let's go. We're going to be going on a short break here before the grand finals, so we'll see you soon for that best of 5. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week number 80. Do apologize for being a little bit absent for most of today's broadcast. I've just been a little bit busy. Again, for those who don't know, did get recently, I say recently, it's been like 2 months now. I think it's been like 2 months. Do have some pet bunnies, and they only a couple of days ago started free roaming. They started free roaming a couple of days ago, and typically I'm usually there when they're free roaming, but right now, because of the time of this cast, they're free roaming while I'm casting, so I been trying to keep an eye on them and trying to make sure they're okay and trying to make sure that everything's, that nothing crazy happens or anything like that. So I have been otherwise a little bit distracted, but now we're getting into our finals. We're getting into our grand finals. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. The South Korean Protoss, we have the red Protoss. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is a classic. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim, or who do you think will claim a win in the series. Who you think is going to be this week's champion. Will it be herO? Will it be classic? Best of luck in the chat. Here we go. As we do have our initial 2-gate opener versus 2-gate opener, we are lying in wait here to see if anyone sends out a probe, if anyone commits into a proxy, into an all-in, or if anyone fakes a proxy and fakes an all-in. Let's go. For now, second pylon in the main base for Classic, and likewise second pylon in the main for herO. Standard openers all around. No proxy, no shenanigans. Not here, not this time. Let's go. Let us go. So another PvP finals? Yo. If you don't like PvP finals, what, you haven't liked StarCraft for 5 years? Ay. Oh no. I'm pretty sure regardless of the patch, and again, I already said this before, we expect the patch to change during the PTR. I don't expect the current iteration of the patch to be what goes live. I don't think that's going to change PvP finals. This is something that we've already spoken about quite heavily during the podcast. About right now, the issue when it comes to more diverse play at this point is that a lot of the previous Zerg and Terran players have retired. A lot of them did silently retire, a lot of them stepped away. A lot of the up-and-coming Zerg and Terran players were snuffed out by the up-and-coming Protoss players instead. So that's why there's a heavy Protoss population, is because the up-and-coming Zerg and Terrans, they just retired, right? They retired, they stepped away. They weren't fond of versus Protoss matchups. I don't think they're... it's a little bit... I guess it's a little bit doomer. I don't we're not going to bring back Soul Spirit. He's not... Akedon's not going to come back from retirement from this far in, it's, yeah. So expect more PvP. Feels Soul Spirit, feels like Addon. Or the others. Oh god, the herO. As herO, he throws on foot. They're both laughing. That was 4 force fields. Doesn't get a single stalker. Yo, herO, we gotta tighten up, baby. Okay, we gotta. I know it's early. I know it's early in South Korea. We gotta wake up, baby. We gotta wake up. Measures the amount of sleep he gets by comparing it to how many StarCraft he matches. Matches? Oh no. Hallucination goes in. To dip in. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I suppose so. I mean, you also miss 100% of the shots you take, apparently. Smooch. As herO did open up with his own Stargates, moving up with the Oracle. Likewise, Classic behind this, going for his own Twilight Council with the Blink. The goal for herO is to get economic damage, and we'll see if he can. So far, Depth Stage, we get into the middle line of 4, soon to be 5, 6 probes going down. Nice damage out of herO. He may have fumbled with the force fields, but he pops off and he gets 7 probe kills in between the main and the natural. At the same time, Depth Stage do shade in across the map as well. Ooh, herO also takes some losses, and that should not have happened. It's gonna be 6 probe kills. Do we get 7? We do. 7 for 7. Ay, ay, ay. And herO comes out worse for wear. What I mean by that, remember, herO, the Stargate opener is meant to deal... To get a bit of a pause. But the Stargate opener is meant to deal economic damage. The Stargate Oracle into Adept. So for this to be an even trade, for us to trade 7 and 7, that is worse for herO, because herO, he sacrificed Blink. Classic, his Blink is about to finish. Blink is about to finish up, so this is better for Classic. Classic was able to achieve more with less, and able to defend with less as well. So Classic does take a lead here, and with that early Blink timing, Classic can extend that lead and find even more damage. So a really rough start for herO. We'll see if he can recover, we'll see if he can bounce back. Hopefully everything's okay, as we do have a bit of a pause in our initial game. Hopefully everything's okay.
Game resumed.
Here he pokes in, he gets 2 more probes. I mean, this will help, true. This does help. Here he does defend back at home. Fancy flex. From here, gonna try to force the issue. Shield battery's not quite done, but there's Guardian Shield. Guardian Shield for both. So it's just gonna be going down. herO does try to bust his way in, but here he's running out of steam. Running out of army. Classic does hold. Classic defends. At the same time, herO tries to distract, goes into the main base. Probes are going down. This was the entire point of the attack, to do this. There we go. 5 probe kills. Not bad. So this was worth it for herO. 5, gets 6. 6 probes go down, gets up to 7. And again, it wasn't about breaking the army, it wasn't breaking the base, it was all about this, getting as much economic damage as possible. herO pulls away, and despite the fumbled start for herO, now he's back. He's back, he punishes the Blink. Oof. Okay, herO does punish. He's locked in. Behind us, both players getting to +1. Both players building up. Here it's still being active. Staying active, still moving out. Here, both players going to be expanding. Classic claiming his own 4th base, so is herO. And we're getting into the same kind of game state here. What do we have? What do we have to work with? We have Charge +1. Blink is done for herO. Charge just now beginning for Classic, so he's going to be behind when it comes to the tech, at least slightly. Prism is done. herO, if he pushes herO now, he can break through. Classic's in danger. Does have a lot of Immortals, but the goal here for herO is to break through that line to get on top of the Immortals. We'll see if he can. There's a massive warp in. Remember, hero's had the better economy. Dives in, takes out all the Zelts, goes to the Prism. Ooh, Prism does go down, but he's running out of Zelts. Yeah, here he's running out of Charge Zelts. He needs another Warp in. Ah, that's why. I was like, where are the Zealots? They're being tied up by one Zelt here at the natural. herO diving the Immortals. He gets one Immortal. Nice force field, locks down the other. 2 Immortals go down to 1 Immortal for Classic. 1 Immortal left. GG gets called. herO, he breaks through, and herO takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. A very nice comeback out of herO. The early game did go in favor of Classic, but if you remember, herO, he dedicated so much to a push towards the 3rd base, distracting Classic, and he was able to get in. He was able to slip in with 2 Adepts, with the Stalkers as well. He got 7 probe kills. With that, herO took a lead. herO was able to get ahead, and with that, herO was able to claim his lead and extend it from there. We saw that Classic was playing catch-up. He was working towards Charge, working towards a 4th base. There was a window in time where Classic would not actually have Charge to work with, and herO was able to strike then and there. GG. GG, well played. herO does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if herO can extend that lead. We'll see if Classic can recover. Here we go. Here we go. So we are all looking to get in. Also, my apologies. Also, shout out to Prome. I see Prome in the chat did actually redeem some replay casts. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that today. But if you would send us your replays, then I will be more than happy to cast at some point once we have a free casting slot available. Ah, I see. You did email to us. Thank you for the screenshot. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, well cast. We did receive them. By email. We'll be on that. But here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss player for Virtus Pro, also from South Korea. It is a Classic. Here we go. Whew. Settling in. And the last game we had relatively passive openers when it comes to getting into our natural base setup, into our 2-base setup. We'll see if that trend continues here. We'll see if anyone does decide to hide a pylon out on the map. I'm hoping they do. But now 2-gate opener versus 2-gate opener. So far so good. We have our 2-gate setups. And Classic going for a fake proxy pylon. Okay. So fake proxy out of Classic. Setting up, we do have a hero. He does fall for it, goes for a robo himself. So here he scouted, he saw that a pylon was missing, so here he's looking. You can see here he's searching desperately for the proxy location. He responds with a robo, which means here he's trying to hard counter a one base all in. Now hero can turn this defense into an offense, and he's gonna have to. Classic will expand, Classic will be ahead economically, and hero will have to, or will most likely throw down a third gateway and turn this into a one base all in himself once he realizes what's been going on. And now he knows. He knows, he sees the expansion. Hero taking his own. Does throw down his own nexus instead of throwing down a third gateway, so we'll just build off from here. Classic is in a better position, and you can see he's setting up defensively. Shield batteries, extra pylons, Stargates on the way, and Hero is not responding with an all-in. It's not an all-in. Has to move in, takes down the prism, not bad. Does like the prism. I was gonna say the Oracle's out, actually went for a Phoenix, not Oracle. And then Classic, he will take the better fight. Gets one, gets two, gets three Stalkers, much better trades for Classic. Hero gets in though. Classic not paying attention, doesn't pay attention, and suddenly this is worth of a Hero. Hero gets in, 2 up, say one-shot probes, and they get 4, 5, 6 probe kills. Oh, do we get 7? Do we get 8? 7 probes go down. Does he get another worker? Up. He's shading in. He shades in. He gets one more. 8 probe kills. Brutal damage. With that Hero, he does take a lead. He does make up for his later expansion. Remember, Classic had the faster Nexus. Hero had the faster Robo. But now suddenly, economically, Hero, he does catch up. And now he has that advantage of having those Immortals. Immortals are amassing. Blink is on the way behind this, getting into extra gateways. Now the pressure is on Classic. This Oracle's moving out, and Hero, he knows about the Stargate. He knows. Hero is aware. Stasis driving to the main. Hero, does he react? No reaction. Yeah, no reaction. Massive stasis goes off. Hero, he was distracted. Focusing on the defense. Boys are being pulled, and Hero, he will hold. But at a cost of half his mineral iron, and more damage is being done. Hero just being unable to defend. It's going to be 4 probe kills. It's going to be 4 workers. Game will continue. Oh. Nice time for the Oracle. From here, Classic going into Blink. Wait, some reason I thought he had it earlier. I mean, it was a Stargate opener, but yeah. Just now working towards Blink Stalkers. Classic is going to be stuck on him. He went Stargate into Robo into delayed Twilight Council. Okay. So Classic is going to be stuck at home. He's stuck at home defending, and herO likewise will be expanding as well. So the game is slowing down. herO, he has the option to be the aggressor and try to maybe strike before Blink finishes for Classic, but for the most part, it should finish in time. It should finish, should be a part of this. The game will slow down. Now, coming into this mid-game here, who do we favor? Well, Classic does have the slightly better economy, has been losing a little workers, but Classic also had the faster third, right? Faster third base, faster triple worker production as well. So Classic has had that advantage behind this, working towards Temple Archives, working towards Archon production, delayed charge. Meanwhile, herO, faster charge, delayed Archons. Now herO, he's staying on a low gas count. Okay, he's staying on low gases, so he's only on three gases. Meanwhile, Classic, he's on 4. He's on 5 actually. So herO's going for an all-in. He's going for the all-in. The plan here is to go for one massive timing with mass charge lot. He will not scale well into a longer game. That's why he has no upgrades, right? No +1, no +2, no upgrade. I should say that +1 is soon to finish and will hit in time with charge, but he can't afford much else here. Meanwhile, Classic getting another base. He's being more, again, gas intensive. With that, can afford more Immortals, more Archons, more Stalkers. Here we got to send it soon. Here, Prism does come out. Gateways are finishing up. Just going for harass. Is the plan to wait for +2? Yeah, he chronos. Uh-oh. Okay. If we're waiting for +2, then Classic's just gonna get further ahead. Classic will be able to catch up with everything. He'll be able to catch up with the upgrades, with the tech. Here he's now aware. So we're at the 4th base, dropping into the main. At the same time, Stalkers, they come in for a backstab. Classic's out of position. What do we get? We get a pylon, maybe a couple of probes. Not even. Yeah, not even here. Here it gets punished, losing 3 Stalkers. Losing even more than that. Okay, it does pull out. Warp into the main base is denied. Classic holds. Classic does hold, Classic does defend, and as we mentioned, like, the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Classic. As herO is very zealot heavy and very zealot reliant. As long as the Archon count is there for Classic, it should be fine. It's getting up to 4, soon to be 5 Archons. That should be enough. Whether or not they're in position, different story. There's that 5th Archon. herO looking for a way in. herO waiting for upgrades to finish before attacking, unheard of. Well, the problem with waiting for upgrades is that he's waiting too long. He's waiting too long. Can he break through though? As Zealots are going to be melting. Yeah, better concave here for Classic. He has reinforcements and Classic shuts him down. Again, herO, he waited too long. He decided to wait for +2, so he just got outscaled. And with that, Classic will completely shut down the army. Yeah, shuts him down. The Immortals are on their own. Prism falls. And there's nothing left. There's just nothing left for herO. With that, Classic overwhelms. herO down to 2 Immortals, down to 1. 1 Immortal left. Kiting back. Yo, I believe GG gets called and Classic ties up the series 1-1. We're going to, we have a back and forth. We have a back and forth. GG. Again, herO, as we were trying to emphasize, he did decide to go for an all-in, but he decided to wait for +2, so very delayed all-in from herO. Classic was getting further ahead as time went on, as he did have 5 gases to work with, so was building up a higher quality army. As a reminder, herO was staying on 3 gases, which is why he was very zealot heavy, very zealot reliant. If he was able to strike Classic before he built up an Archon count, then sure he could do it, but Classic had 5 Archons. He had 5 Archons, Zealots, they did nothing. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. Let's go. We're getting into game 3. And we'll see who takes the lead in the series. Here we go. Here we go. So we're getting into our next game, and we're... Oh. So we're getting into the next game as we're getting into... I was going to say the decided match. We're going to be finding out who will take a lead in the series. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss, the South Korean Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Go. Again, a very intense, very chaotic back and forth game number 2. At times, herO took a lead, then Classic brought it back, then herO brought it back, then we just went back and forth. In the end, Classic did just outscale and outgrow herO. Classic just went for a more standard approach, a macro approach, by taking his gases, by faster, or by taking a third base faster, taking a fourth base faster, better economy into just a better quality army. herO, he decided to send it with +2, send it with the all-in, but it took so long to really get going, and he just could not quite strike Classic before he got outscaled. GG. GG. Now we're getting into the third game, and we'll see if we commit to any actual proxies this time. As herO does hug the edge of the map. Two-gate opener out of our blue Protoss. herO doing the same. Two-gate openers all around. herO, he will hide a pylon, and this looks like a proxy robo. Not unheard of to proxy here, just further out from the halfway mark across the map. Classic is looking. He's looking, he's searching. Trying to figure out what's going on. Trying to get eyes on herO. And yep, there's the robo, there's the one base all in. So one base all in out of herO. Typically it's Classic going for the one base all in, but again, herO not too afraid to do it himself as well. And Classic, he confirms. He sees no pylon. So he knows that a pylon is missing, and he's looking for the pylon, and based on the rally, he will find the robo instantly. Very nice scouting here from Classic. Does come across the proxy robo, is fully aware as to what's going on, and Classic is already getting a safety robo himself. Classic, he has the tools to defend. He has the tools to defend, a solid reaction, a solid blind reaction as well. Remember, he started the robo before he even scouted, assuming that herO was committing, and he assumed correctly. Did assume correctly here. Immortal production has begun. You can see Classic moving out to try to focus on the pylon. We'll see if he can. herO shades in, Classic walls. Classic walls off. He's going to be losing those shields. And Classic, can he kill the pylon before the Immortal pops? Oh, he can! 2 more volleys. Uno más. Gets the pylon, but the Immortal does pop. Whew. I mean, that's still huge. That's still huge. That's still a big delay on the War Prism. Prism is heavily delayed. One Stalker did fall. Classic gets to get the hell out of here. Does kite back. And he kites well. Okay, he does kite well. Force Field did not lock him down. And yeah, he just cannot make anything from the robo. herO responds with a Twilight Council. And Classic takes the lead. Classic does take a lead from here. Pressure's on herO to make something happen. Do we go for the Dark Shrine? Is that the... I mean, there's already a robo. Yeah, the problem here, that was a robo opener. Going for Blink. Bold move. And Classic should strike first. So one Adept gets into the mineral line. Just chase down. Classic is poking in. herO, he does get into the main base with Sword Eps, not bad. This shouldn't have happened. He's gonna get 3, 4 probe kills and Ice Mining. Can he get 5? He can. 5 probes, not bad. Can we get 6? Oh god. 6 probes go down. And despite the fumbled start from herO does take an economic lead. Okay. He's ahead economically. That will limit warp-ins here for Classic. Classic is pushing. And Classic, can he break up this ramp? He's going for it. Does try to commit. Takes down one of the gateways, not bad. Stalkers, they blink down. Oh, the Prism! Prism barely does get away. Whew. Yeah, Prism pulls back. The Immortals are just going ham on the Stalkers. This Classic running out of steam. He's running out of army. Third Immortal has arrived. Classic, he does have enough. And he just keep pushing. Oh no! Jesus, Classic, calm down. God, Classic, calm down. The Prism. Oh, the Prism does fall. Nice snipe out of herO. herO catching reinforcements. And now Classic has no high ground vision. He has no vision of the high ground. There's the recall back home. There's the recall. There's the recall. Again, moving in. Again, oh, that was threading. And again, the longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. herO's expanding. herO is expanding, getting a natural base. That is 4 Immortals for Classic. So Classic, he can still all in. Like, he can still kill herO. This army's terrifying. But herO with some nice moves, picks up a pylon, delays the push, delays the all-in. Ideally wants to slow him down and pick up some key units as we're getting up to 5. We're getting up to 5 Immortals. Oh. Tempted to blink in. herO, calm down. He's tempted. Are threatened. See, he gains map control. Or at least he's trying to. And again, herO, he cannot fight head on, not against this many Immortals. herO coming in from behind. Does have force fields available. Have them. We're going for the base trade. We're going in. Yeah, dives into the main. And you can see here he's just buying time. He just fully walls off. He's just buying as much time as possible. Depowers all the gateways, and then herO can recall. Ooh, that bit of miscontrol from herO. Does lose the first Immortal. That should not have happened. herO steps up. There go, gets the mineral line. Mineral line goes down. Classic is gaining ground. We're waiting for the recall. herO. What are we killing? There it is. It does recall back home. Boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are pulled. Dives on the Prism. Dives on the Immortals even. The Prism, oh, barely zoned away. And he gets one. Yeah, he's going to get all of them. All the Immortals do go down. herO, he defends. He defends, he holds, takes down the Prism, takes down the Immortal. There's one Immortal remaining, down to 1, down to 0. GG gets called, and herO takes a lead in the series. Whew, GG. Hi. GG, well played. herO, he does take a lead. Again, a very intense game here, very back and forth. It all began with herO getting scattered and herO getting his robo depowered. But then, of course, we saw herO recover with what? With economic damage. We saw that he was able to pop off across the map, get him with adepts. He was able to get a surprising amount of damage with those adepts, able to cripple his opponent and gain an economic lead. And from there, make use of the Mass Blink Stalker as the follow-up. GG, well played. Again, a very intense game number 1. Sorry, game number 3. And with that, herO takes the lead, and herO needs one more game to claim it all. Una más, baby, una más. Classic should DT. Classic did not have a Twilight Council. If you remember, he went for a Robo opener. He went for a Robo as his tech of choice. If you recall. If you're saying he should invest into a Twilight Council, into a Dark Shrine, then that means less Immortals. That means that there's a higher chance he would have died earlier, as it was a very aggressive, not a very passive game. Here we go. Here we go. As we're getting into our next game of the series, and we'll see if herO can close it out here and now. We'll see if Classic can bring it back. Here we go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss leading the series 2-1, and one game away from claiming the series and becoming this week's champion. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing Team Virtus Pro. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Classic. Go. herO wins, he's just better. herO and Classic are very different styles of player. They both have their strengths, they both have their weaknesses. Classic, in other matchups, he's known for his longer, later macro play. I would say that Classic has probably the best late game PvT and the best late game PvZ in the world, better than herO. I would say that herO has stronger mid game against Zerg and Terran than Classic does, for example. So they do have, like, again, they have very different approaches to the game, very different styles, I should say. But when it comes to PvP specifically, not discussing the other matchups, this is where they're actually quite close in skill. They are quite close. They both get very chaotic. They both get very aggressive. As you can see here, it is now Classic's turn to proxy. Remember, last game, herO went for the proxy robo. This time, Classic setting up for the proxy robo himself. Now, last game, Classic was able to scout early on and confirm and shut it down. We'll see if herO can do the same. Shall see. Yep, there's the proxy robo. Again, one base all in a Classic. Oh, herO blindly going gate cyber. Oh, god. A blind gate cyber expand out of herO. Like, he's scouting. He now realizes that his opponent has a hidden pylon out on the map, and this is just so greedy. herO should die here. Like, this is insane. Now, herO does open up Stargate. So with a Stargate opener, herO will have Void Rays. He will have defensive Void Rays back at home, but Void Rays are not ideal defensively, especially on a map where you do not have a ramp. So Classic has the advantage. Classic, he does have the advantage coming into this. And we'll see if herO can overcome. depths, they do. Oh, shade into the main. The Classic confirms the Stargate. He confirms the build overall. Gets 5 probe kills already. Disastrous start for herO. And herO does open up with the early Oracle. Ay. So he does open Oracle, not Void Ray. Here comes the Immortal. Oh, saves you death. Here we need shield batteries. Second shield batteries on the way. He's getting a second battery. We need as many Void Rays as possible. Void Ray production has begun. We're getting those Void Rays. And herO shouldn't achieve too much here. He can maybe get 2 probes. Ah, not even. Oh, God. The Prism races back home to defend. The Oracle gets shut down. Ooh, and who catches who? Gets 1 Stalker. Does he get 2? Up! Oh, the Stalker gets away. herO, he pulls out. Does barely pull out. Does barely get away. Losing only 1 Stalker. And again, the Void Rays are amassing. I believe we already have 1. Yeah, 1 Void Ray is already out. Being very ambitious, trying to hunt down the Immortal. Yeah, hero's coming in to intercept. Likewise, so is Classic. Who catches who? Classic, he wants that Void Ray. Stalkers have arrived. herO, he has to get the hell out of here. herO pulls away. There's the recall. There's the recall back home. The Oracle is still alive. herO can still make use of it. The all-in is here. And we have 3 shield batteries. Okay. Another shield battery on the high ground as well. Ooh. He's going to be careful. Classic goes for another warp in. Third Void Ray has arrived. Okay, we're getting there. Every Void Ray does help. There's a prismatic alignment. Classic, he's waiting it out. Here he activated all 3 at the same time. That is brutal. Ideally, you want to stagger it. So now he has no prismatic alignment available. But he does have that Phoenix. Phoenix can help. Stalkers, they can 2-shot. Ooh, the bit of mispick. Yeah, it does mispick. Gets 1 Void Ray, but a lot of Stalkers go down, and herO, he's holding. Yeah, hero's holding on. Classic, he fumbled that assault. Basically, he attacked 1 Void Ray, then he retargeted a different Void Ray for the second volley. So the first Void Ray got extra damage. There's the prismatic alignment. Stalkers, they move in, they snipe the Prism. Is it enough, though? Is it enough? We're going into Mass Phoenix. We can lift. Yeah, it lifts up the Immortals. Whew, there's a recall. 1 Immortal does not get recalled in time. And herO, he's just getting further ahead. herO, he defends, he survives. Remember, he's on 2 bases. He's on 2 expansions. 2 bases, papi. Ay. And Classic, he's still 1 base all in. Now, thankfully for Classic, herO did cut worker production. He wasn't actually making many probes. So his lead isn't as big as it should be. But he still has a lead. Still has a lead. Stays drop. Oh my god, barely does get focused down. Jesus. Was very close. Oh, another stasis. Yeah, this time Classic has to pull away. Oh, he gets punished. Yeah, Classic gets punished. Barely an economy. And again, it's all or nothing. But again, this is a weakened all-in from Classic. Does also have that Immortal. herO goes for the dive. Picks up the Stalkers. Boys are being pulled. There's the NG overcharge. Yeah, and with that, the Immortal goes down. herO holds. herO holds. He shuts down the all-in. And once again, GG gets called herO. He will claim the series 3-1. herO will be this week's Korean StarCraft League champion. GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, he is typically our champion here. For those who did miss what we said previously, but herO, he's won like 90%, of PvPs, sorry, of KSLs that he's played in, that he's competed in this year. There's, I think, maybe 2 weeklies that he didn't win. I think there's 1 weekly where he didn't sign up. Sorry, there's like 2 weeklies where he didn't sign up, and there's 1 weekly where Classic did beat him. I think that was like the week after EWC. Either the week after or the week before EWC. But GG, well played. GG, well played. herO, he does claim another win, and congratulations to herO. Shout out to Classic for making a series out of it. It was very intense, very back and forth. I'm still thinking about the game on ley lines. Ley lines also still could have gone either way as well, depending on the setup. Regardless, congratulations to herO for claiming another KSL win. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be wrapping up for the day. Prome did redeem some replay casts, that is true, but we will be hosting those replay casts at a later date. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do have another broadcast coming up in a couple of hours time. As you can see here, we have RSL at 7 p.m. KST. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in around 4 hours. 4 hours time. We're going to be live with the RSL. I have very little time to work on those TLMC maps. So just a really intense schedule here. I'll do my best, Papi. I'll do my best. But yes, we are going to be wrapping up with RSL over the next 2 days, of time, of course. And I'm going to go quickly get some food, going to go work on those Team Liquid Map Contest maps, and we'll be back in 4 hours time with some Revival StarCraft League. Also, you can, if you enjoyed the KSL, this is a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks we have some Korean StarCraft League, so do check it out. You can support them as well on their Patreon, exclamation mark KSL in the chat. There you go. Wow, he really does win every KSL. I think he has, there's like 3 KSLs this year that he didn't win. I think there's 3. I think there's around 3 of those. But 2 of them he wasn't even there. Here we go. That's why people call PvZ Oracle Opener herO build. I don't think anyone says that. What are you talking about? But with that, GG, well played. With that, congratulations to herO. And with that, we're going to be heading off. We're going to be heading off here for the time being. And again, we're going to be back in 4 hours. Back in 4 hours time. So we'll see you then. We'll see you then for the next stream, for the next cast for RSL. See you then, Pappy. See you then.